right, everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're taking on the largest 3D print project that I've ever taken on before, and it's not even close. Same with CAD and Fusion 360, largest project I've ever taken on, and it'll be the largest project that I upload to Maker World as well. So get ready, today's video is gonna be awesome. As you saw in the beginning, I have some really cool RC cars that I would like to display and not just have on a shelf on the wall or something like that. I'd really like something cool to display these cars and, you know, a place to bounce the little car and everything like that, and just be cool and not be on a shelf. So I decided to do like a diorama of a garage, which I've seen several of them, but I have a large space to do many RC cars, rock crawlers, drift cars, the lowrider, everything like that. To be exact, it's 27 inches by 95 inches of room that we have to play with. So all three of my printers have been going strong for the last 5 days, getting a lot of these parts going for it. And I thought it would be a cool project for us all to start with the new year, and to, you know, show off some of our other hobbies and use 3D printing to integrate into some of those other hobbies. So if you have some other things that you would like to display, let's start building a diorama for those as well. If you have some RC cars, then follow along. You'll be able to print all of the stuff that I'm going to make and be able to use it with your diorama. Now, I'm not an engineer and I'm not the greatest person in Fusion 360, and I'll tell you, in today's tutorial we'll be using nothing but primitive shapes. It'll be squares, rectangles, circles, and lines, and a very few amount of measurements to get quite a lot done. So in today's video we'll start with kind of the foundation of where a diorama should start, in my opinion, and that's with the walls and the floor, right, from the ground up. So in today's video, I'll go over what I designed for the floor and how I got it to interconnect and what makes it really cool and modular. And then we'll go over all of the pieces that it takes to make a wall. I'll also go over some print tips and tricks and everything, and how to make everything fit in your printer, and anything special that I found along the way. So if all that sounds good, then sit back and relax and I'll get everything ready. All right, so I went over several different iterations for this floor, and kind of the issues that I ran into is this is really easy to print, and it take, you know, large space or whatever that's that it covers, but how do you connect these to each other, right? So that became the next challenge that I had, and making them smaller or whatever, and to make like little locking pieces in between them presented some design challenges as well. So what I came up with instead are some tiles. So you'll see here I have a tile sheet, or a whole sheet with a diamond pattern, but this isn't just one piece. It's several pieces put together. So the two main pieces are the black piece, which kind of has these female ends in there, and then this white piece that has kind of the male ends. The reason I didn't make this one the black piece is the connecting ends there. If this was the black piece, you might be able to see those if that other piece was white. So this is why I made this one the white piece. And it goes together very simply here. I'll show you here in a minute. And then I just made the pieces right here and for the corners to do a diamond pattern and make it square. If you were just to put these together, you could totally make, you know, a checkerboard square or whatever very easily there. But if you want to do a diamond pattern, then there's two extra pieces that you have to print. One for the corner. Focus. There we go. One for the corner piece. And this just has 3 of those female pieces in there since we don't need one for the edge. And then to straighten everything out, we needed 1 black piece there to do the edges. So this goes on the edges. So let's put that together. You'll see how easy everything just kind of snaps together. So the little tiles kind of hold it together, help it to align everything, and then makes it very, very modular. And as you saw in the intro video, like I can do this for 95 inches this way and 27 inches this way, and it's not going to be an issue. And it helps to get those the right side up, otherwise they don't like to snap in. There's probably better ways to put this together than my fumbling on the live stream demo here. But as you can see, all the pieces snap together very easily. To make a square. And then since it's modular, I can make it as large as possible. So now let's jump into Fusion 360 and I'll show you how I kind of made this little, these little tiles with just primitive shapes. All right, let's quickly go over these little pieces. If you want to design these yourself, it's very easy to do within here. These squares are 55 by 55 millimeters. No particular reason why I did that. I just made it 55 by 55. You'll see that since I did this on the center, I only needed to make 1 of these pieces, and then I just did a circular pattern around here. You'll see that 10 millimeters, I made these a little bit smaller so they fit inside of the little hole a little bit better. But on the other side, it is 10 millimeters away from the center to this edge, 5 millimeters wide. So doing that, I was able to make a circular pattern that revolves around the center and made all of those different pieces. So each tile is 3 millimeters thick. And then same thing on the side with the female connectors. Started from the center, did a pattern around this axis here. And these are 10 millimeters from the edge, 5 millimeters wide and centered. So you see it's centered on every portion there. And then to make the corner, same thing, but just extend this square out to the center point of this side. And then you just need 3 of these indentations. And then to make the straight corner there, same thing, 10 millimeters from the side, centered. And then these are 2 millimeters tall, the little tabs. And that's how to make the floor. So at the end of the video, I'll show you how much of it I've got done so far, but quite a bit, all by making these little tiles. All right, then for printing the tile pieces, like I said, I made the one with the male connectors white and the one with the female connectors black. I would orientate these this way so that the indentations are facing down, so you don't have to have support here. And then on these, you want the this part flat and this edge part up. But if you do the little auto orient object, it'll do that for you. Same with the edge pieces in the corner. Anything that has the little tabs, make sure to orient it this way. And anything, that corner piece that has the indentations, make sure that you put it flat like this and then print away. And I just use PLA, but you could use anything that you want. All right, now let's take a look at the pieces for the wall. And again, it's just rectangles, spaced with circles and lines. So same thing, except these circles are 50 millimeters, 30 millimeters from the edge, 30 millimeters wide right here. So you'll see that we have that all along each edge. There's 2 indentations there, and then these are the male pieces there. And I think it's, yeah, this one, this is how I made the bricks. So I wanted it to be easy to do, so the spacing total is 20 by 40, but I want a 1 millimeter distance in between these to create that little gap or grout line or whatever. So I just made the bricks 1 millimeter short of that. Okay, and the one that hangs out 20 millimeters to get the correct gap on the other side. And then I just made a pattern and extruded these out. Couple of tricks with the extrusion here that I did is I did a negative 20 degree taper to kind of give it an inward taper. And then when I extruded this out, I created a new component. So you'll see that I have 2 components, a wall and a brick. And I'll show you why. You don't necessarily have to do that, but it makes coloring it in Bamboo Studio way easier. Now you'll just be able to select the wall, choose a color for that, select the bricks and choose a color for that, instead of having to select every brick and every edge and trying to color and paint it and do all of that way. By creating a component when you extrude these, it makes it way easier to paint in the future. And when you right click and do appearance in here, it makes it way easier to do that. So that's the standard wall. So that's the one that you'll have to print the most. Then you need the top piece, and that's just missing the male connector at the top right here. You need the left end, which is just 20 millimeters wide so that we can catch that. And then the male end comes in to connect there. This is the right end, and it's missing the male piece right here. You do have to be careful how short you make this. You don't want these to run into each other. The first time I tried to make this, I wanted to make a very short right end and leave the rest of those long, and that just didn't work. I had to make it longer in order for these 2 things not to run into each other. But again, this is very simple circles and straight lines and extrusions certain amounts. So the wall thickness is 6 millimeters here on this edge, and then each brick is 2 millimeters tall. And then at the very top, we don't need the male end here or the male end there, so those are removed for the very top on the right hand side. So let's jump into Fusion 360 and we'll take a look at the short wall with connectors, and I'll show you some tips and tricks on how to print this. And before we do that, the way to export this with your components to make it easy to paint is you want to export as a step file. If you do that, when we open it up in Fusion, we'll have 2 objects, a wall and a brick. All right, so let's go over how to print the wall pieces here. They really only print in the H2D or H2S. If you do want to print these in an X1C or a P1S, scale this down 80%. And it'll fit in the X1C and the P1S series. But that means you have to scale everything down 80%, so keep that in mind. But what should happen is whenever we hit the auto arrange, it should put it at a 45-degree angle, and this should be in there. So now let me show you. If you click on objects here, now you'll see that bricks and wall thing that I was talking about in Fusion. So now the largest piece or the underlying piece of the project, you want to select that as that color that happens to be the same color as the wall. And then on the brick here, I can select 6, and it has that nice cool brick pattern there, and it was really easy to color that way. So top tip, whenever you're making these pieces and everything that you want a different color, whenever you're extruding it in Fusion, instead of making it a new body or doing any of that, make it a new component and then export it as a step file, and you'll have bricks and wall right here where you can easily color code that. The other thing to pay attention to here is with the H2D, we don't need the prime tower with that. And you do need to set up support for the female connectors here, as well as these tabs that go off the edge here. Now, if you want to make the supports easy to do, go ahead and enable build plate only, which I always do. And then on the top Z distance, if you make this 0.35 or 0.4, it'll make it really, really easy to remove the supports. And since we're not supporting anything that is facing, it won't have the best face on it on the bottom there of these, but it'll be really, really easy to get the supports out, and the supports won't be in the way of you plugging this in together. So that's the tips and tricks, and that goes for all of these different ones that you print for the different wall pieces. You do the same thing with the objects. You'll see that how I exported them in Fusion is as step files, and I'll make sure that whenever I get these over to Maker World that they come out that way as well. But as you're designing stuff, remember to make that little trick to make it easy for people to change the color of your prints. And as you download stuff from Maker World, always check this object thing here and see if there's different objects here that you can easily change the color of. All right, and that's how easy it is to print the walls. All right, so as you can see, the garage is starting to come together. We have one wall done, starting on the next one, tons of 3D printing to go. But as you can see, lots of room for all of my RC cars. We'll get into the unfinished area over here. Be sure to tune in next time. We will go over this corner transition here, as well as the wall to floor transition. So I will design and make that as well. If you have a cool sticker or a little coin or something and you would like it on this wall, or wall is going to go all the way down right here, then send it to me. I'll put my address on the screen right here, but send me either your sticker, or if you want to 3D print something to go in here, go ahead and send it to me, or anything like that. I'll be happy to showcase it and to make a little blurb on the video about it. So that's gonna do it for us today. Be sure to smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and help me get to 10,000 subscribers in the year 2026. And we will be going over lots of really cool things to do the rest of this diorama. We will be building a roof and everything for this. So be sure to tune in, and I'll catch everybody on the next one. Have a great rest of your week, and thanks for watching.